Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the latest episode of Hardcore Photography. I'm your host, Mike, and I'm here with my good friend, Sticky Rik. Alright, okay, so, alright, so here's what happened to me now. I know you got some stuff, some lenses and stuff. I know you got that, and so we'll talk about that, but I want to talk about what I just did yesterday. So, we know I shoot a lot of film. So I found this camera that I had heard about before. It was an Olympus called an Olympus Infinity Junior, and it's super basic. Okay, now what I've been using, well, I have a lot of a handful of cameras, but one of the things that I've been using as kind of a point and shoot is a Kodak Cameo Motor EX, which a lot of my really good stuff has come out of that camera. Risking Death. That was all on that camera, and that was tough because those kids were jumping off that jetty, and that was kind of friggin' tough. But the thing is that camera is a fixed focus, so there is no focusing involved, which is cool and easy. But the trade-off is that you don't get quite as sharp an image as because you have to get a middle ground.
Right.
But I heard about this camera, and there's a lot of limitations on it, but it's super freaking basic. It's got it's motor drive. Yeah.
Can you repeat the model again?
The one that I'm shooting now. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. The one that I got because I just got it yesterday is the Olympus Infinity Junior. Back in the 80s or 90s. And this must have been like late 80s, maybe early 90s. Olympus was doing this thing where they would have a sliding door in front of the lens, and you would slide it back to expose the lens, and then it would turn everything on. Well, this particular one has a autofocus, which is a step up from my Motor EX. So I'm thinking that it's going to give me a lot better results as far as the film goes. Now, there's a lot of limitations on this camera. It's pretty basic, and a lot of the odd, there's no manual overrides for anything. It's basically just point and shoot. But the thing is I thought to myself, well, this would be a really cool street camera because we'll be getting cleaner shots, and it has an infrared autofocus, which would mean that even if there is not very much light, I can still get a good focus on it. So I loaded up a roll of Kodak Ultramax 400 in it yesterday. I'm out shooting around, so I haven't got it developed. I got to send it out and get it developed, but it seems pretty cool. So we'll see how that goes. But then I actually did go out and shoot yesterday. I went out and I shot this camera, and I can't remember if I shot my digital or not. I don't think I did. Oh yeah, I did. Yeah, I must have. Yeah. So anyway, I shot some stuff, and
can I ask a question? Why did you go for something like this? Because obviously this is still an all-in-one camera. I just went to KEH and put in for used film cameras. And you can get cameras with interchangeable lenses for as low as $2.24. I'm looking at them in Ulta right now.
Yeah, I can get a lot of cameras for there's some Canon lenses that or some Canon cameras, some EOSs that I can get for like about $20 with lens. Yeah, it's because of the a couple things. It's because of the lens setup. It's also because of the reputation of the camera itself and the results that are coming out of it. It has to be also, yeah. I didn't just grab it because,
like I said, my only reason for asking is, with the aperture, I don't know if that camera has aperture priority and stuff like that, but.
It don't have shit. It don't have shit. The thing is here's the thing. I'm just
looking at cameras that do for like $10.
Yeah. You can get some killer film cameras for that have all kinds of great shit. A lot of the EOS cameras are really great, and you can get them. You can get the body for like $20 and a lens for well, it's a lot of times you can get body and lens for that. But another thing too is that I wanted something small that I could just carry around in my pocket that would give me good results. And one of the things too that's been happening is I'm standing there. I've heard about this on podcasts too, and these people think it's all funny and all cute, and I don't think it's funny and cute. What they're doing is they're talking about, well, I'm going out and it takes me an hour to decide which camera I'm going to take. And I'm like, dude, that's not cool at all. You're being paralyzed by this need for, a camera. Right. Yeah. And I found myself doing that to an extent too, because I have a lot of cameras that have, I'm starting to accumulate lenses and even with my digital, I'm accumulating lenses on that too and stuff. And so I'm sitting there. So you think to yourself, okay, what am I going to shoot today? And then you decide that, and then if it's multiple lenses, you go, well, what lens am I going to use? What am I going to shoot? And it's becoming paralyzing. I mean, not for me, I'm pretty good about it, but I've heard these people on podcasts that are saying this kind of stuff, and there's, it's so funny. It's so funny. It's not funny, dude. It's not funny. That's the weird part about these podcasts. These people are talking about, there's this thing too called GAS. They call it GAS, Gear Acquisition Syndrome. Okay, and they think it's funny. I have a body thing in a month, because I'm trying to get my gas under control. I have gas. It's like, you're an idiot, man. You're a fucking idiot. You're obsessed with these things and these tools, and you don't have any, you don't even know what it takes you an hour to get out of the house. Mm-hmm. That's what is that called? That's obsessive compulsive disorder. That's what that is. That's not funny. It's not cute. It's ridiculous. And you're sitting there going, well, it takes me an hour, and then I have to pick a backup. What the fuck are you talking about? God, it fucking aggravates me, man. So anyway, one of the reasons why I grabbed this camera. Well, real quick, one of the reasons why I got this camera was so that I can just decide when I'm going out. I just grab that camera and I'm gone. That's it. And if I haven't got something specific that I'm shooting, that's why I'm going to take that camera.
Okay. See, because I that's the only reason I was asking is because like I said, that's why I asked you the model, and I looked it up and I go, okay, well, I had one of those at one point, but why not have the extra features? And okay, that makes sense though. Just something you can pick up and take with you.
Yeah, that's the thing about the film cameras is that there's a handful of cameras that people are always looking at, and they're and they suggest or whatever, but there's a lot of cameras that are full featured that have interchangeable lenses that have all these different things, and they're freaking super cheap, and autofocus and all kinds of shit. There are cameras that have extremely advanced autofocus systems. Usually the Canon EOSs and also some of the later Minoltas or the Maxims. They call them like Maxim 9, Maximum 7000. Yeah,
I was gonna say I saw a few Maxims for really cheap here.
Yeah, and if you're looking at anybody who's
I've told you why I stick with Canon.
Yeah.
It's simply because all my lenses are already for Canon, so why not just stick with what I got?
Yeah, that's common. They I was listening to the guy who does the This Week in Tech on God, I can hardly remember his name, but I used to listen to him on KFI all the time. And he's a photographer, and he does once like a month. Once a month I think he does the tech guy. That's his name, but I can't remember his name. But he goes by the tech guy, and he talks about that. He says your camera is not the most expensive thing that you're going to buy. The glass is the most expensive thing that you're going to buy, and that's true. When I was looking at, by the way, real quick, Sigma. Tamron is releasing lenses for my camera that are actually affordable, and so I'm like, I'm so fucking grateful because with autofocus. Because if it wasn't
for your Sony,
because these lenses, Because if these lenses weren't coming out, I would have to pay twice the price for Samyang or actual Sony stuff, and it's freaking nuts. But anyway, I digress. So what he was saying is that your lenses are what you're going to be spending most of your money on, and so when you get in there, you get locked in because these lenses will last freaking forever. The camera bodies will obsolete and break down because there's not a lot moving. There is some moving in the lens, but there's not a lot. So the lenses will last forever, but the cameras will break down. So once you start buying up a lot of lenses, you're stuck in that ecosystem. Unless you want to break out, you can, but it's just a lot of money. So what will normally happen is somebody will get going on a camera that they like. They'll start accumulating lenses, and then they'll stick with that ecosystem. It's not a bad thing because most of those cameras, there are a lot of people that talk about, oh, this camera is great, this camera's a piece of shit. It's like, okay, well, that's your opinion, and it doesn't mean anything to me. So most of those cameras are at such a level that you're not going to be able to tell the difference. So just stick with it. I mean, speaking of which, I did see that Facebook. You sent me that Facebook message saying that you think you're going to stick with the APC sensor because because all your lenses, which is a completely reasonable plan, by the way. And so why don't you tell our audience of 4 people what your current situation is and why you've come to that decision?
Well, I have a couple ASP-C cameras. For value purposes, I've been buying lenses that as I've done more research, I found out were made specifically for ASP-C cameras. And what happens is if by some chance they do fit on the full frame camera, because some of them don't, which is odd to me.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You end up with a ring.
Yeah.
The full frame camera takes a black ring around the inside of the picture, outside of the picture, and I go, well, if I buy a full frame camera, I'm stuck buying even more glass and probably much more expensive glass. I don't do this for a living. This is just like my music. It's just a hobby. How much money am I willing to actually put out on this stuff? As we get older, our responsibilities become more, and I don't have the disposable income I once had. I looked at it, I just to go, okay, well, I looked at the newest ASP-C camera from Canon, and I'm going, it's actually got a lot of really good features on it. And I go, they try selling you on the video stuff, and I'm going, you know what? I have a really nice digital video camera. I really don't need to worry about what the video portion of my DSLR has. I want it to take.
Yeah.
I don't care about its video. But of course, then again, like we said, eventually it'll get to the point where you just take video and then take stills out of your video because they'll be just as sharp as the damn pictures. But at the moment, I like the idea of setting up a shot, taking a single picture, and getting the results that you expected to get out of it. And as I learn more and more, I need to learn about light metering and all this other stuff. But if I just to save myself some money, it seemed like because I was looking at 2 models. I was looking at either the Canon 90D, which is their latest camera, which is the ASP-C crop sensor, or the 6D, the 6D Mark II, which is their latest full frame. And just for the lenses I have, it just seems to getting the crop sensor would be the better. Instead of worrying about doing the math of am I actually getting a is my